What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Daily Refinement. My name is Chris, and I earn a full-time living selling stuff online. In today's episode, we're going to go over the 7 highly effective habits of successful resellers. I'm going to give you guys an idea of sort of how I plan my resale business. I've had a lot of questions on what do I do day to day, so I'm going to go over my schedule and also 7 habits I think will really help you get to the next level. So the first habit is to track your profit. Now, this is a spreadsheet that I use that's public. This is the reseller field guide, and I will tell you, I get a lot of joy out of this small store because I know exactly how much profit I've made in this store so far. And I'm also not afraid to make mistakes learning new categories. And I think this is important for you guys just starting. I sold a $20 bill for $26 and I actually lost 74 cents on that sale because I didn't properly figure out how much it cost to ship a $20 bill, which is actually $3.09. So I miscalculated in that, and I thought I was at least going to break even, but that's a mistake I'm willing to learn. But here we go. I know in this small store I made $460.79 profit, and I told you guys I'd try to spend less than $200 getting started, and I know that I've spent $615 so far. Now, even though here it shows clearly I haven't had a sale in 5 days, I'm not really panicking because I understand that for this to generate $1,000 a week income, which is what everyone is looking for, it needs to have $40,000 worth of stuff listed to consistently have sales. And I know I have about 2550 listed. So I'm nowhere near the finish line of $40,000 listed, but that's okay because I have a sort of a long-term mindset with this. And I think it's going to take 3 months of consistent listing to get there. So number one is understand your numbers. If you want to buy a copy of this, with half off code YouTube, it is $32.50 off the normal $65 cost of this. It also includes sort of my guide on how to structure all the different things that you need to learn. And if you want this actual form is not editable. This is the one that I use to teach this online. What you guys can actually do is click file and make a copy once you purchase it. That's how you actually get a copy of this. So the first thing is definitely understand your profit. Let's get into habit number 2, which is reinvest the profits. So I'm glad that I had a mastermind call last night and a gentleman came on that was talking about, just getting by and trying to live off of reseller profits and scrapping by. That's not how you need to do this. You need to figure out what your expenses are and pay those a different way and then reinvest 100% of the profits into the business. So I'm going to go over my exact budget with you guys. This is a little bit personal, but I'll give you guys an idea of what it looks like for me to live. This is for 2 people because I'm living with my fiance. Our housing expenses for 2 people, this 400 square foot apartment, all utilities all added together, $3,015. It's probably less where you live unless you live in San Francisco where it's about $2,000 higher, and then there's other cities that are more expensive, but I think this is high for the US average. Personal expenses, the 2 of us have a family cell phone plan. It's $185 per month. Now, that could be less, but I have mobile hotspot added in because I work at my storage, which means I can also write off half of it. So that's not a true cost, but this is just sort of like it's a family plan. Also, health insurance subsidized. She has a full-time real job, so only costs us $200 a month. Groceries, $100 a week. Eating out, we're trying this right now, which is just use a $100 bill and then, we're actually not getting change for the $100 bill. So we're kind of reluctant to go and spend it because it's sort of eliminated eating out frivolously. We only eat out at places that were really worth it. So that's about $25 a week, or more likely we spend like 60 or 70 of it at a nicer restaurant, and the rest of it we spent, like last night we spent $9 at KFC and it was worth every penny. So we're trying to be frugal here. Entertainment, $100 a month. We travel about 8 weeks a year and it's all free with credit card points. We do spend money eating and such, but that just goes into our other expenses. And then we have 3 cars, but our car expenses are 0 because the cost to own those 3 cars is $1,000 per month. But the income from the 3 cars, from 2 rental cars full time on Turo and Get Around is actually higher than our car expenses. So this is negative, but I just put 0 in here for this experiment. For this simulation, and put this right around $4,000 a month is our overhead. So my recommendation for reselling is figure out a way to pay your overhead, then reinvest and leave the rest of the money in there. I consider myself just barely becoming financially literate. Just complete honesty with you guys, because I'm trying to undo what I learned as a child, which was if financing is available, buy it right now. Don't save any money. You never know what's going to happen to you. That's how I was raised. So it's almost, undoing that has been very difficult. So I don't know if you guys are in the same position, but now I don't experience lifestyle creep, which means the more money that you make, the more you increase your lifestyle. I'm perfectly okay with this lifestyle. I don't need to upgrade anything. And maybe I would eat out a little bit more often, but I would actually consider that entertainment, because I'd rather eat out with people that I like and are trying to build relationships with. And that's, to me, it's almost like a business expense, because I'm not really even hanging out with people that don't level me up. And that's definitely considered more of a business situation for me. Okay, let's get into number 3, which is long-term thinking. This is pretty interesting, but I want to show you guys what I think of doing for like the next 10 years. I don't have any, like if I was financially independent already, I would still do these things because I enjoy them and they definitely build over time. So I do 6 mastermind calls a week. And I enjoy that because I learn about new niches and new ideas constantly. That's available on my Patreon below if you want to check that out. But we meet Monday through Friday at 6 in the morning. And there's a public one on Monday night that you guys can join, get an idea of what it's like. I want to do 4 YouTube videos a week and at least 1 interview. That's a way for me to grow my business network. And I have a new strategy with YouTube, if you guys have noticed. I'm trying to make the most useful video I can that's 10 minutes long. Cram as much stuff into 10 minutes as possible. There's twofold reason for that. One, I can put 2 commercials in it because YouTube wants a 10-minute video, and then also you don't want it to be too short because people are using YouTube for entertainment and also to learn as much as possible. So it's taking me roughly 6 hours to make a 1-hour video. Most of that is 6 hours to make a 10-minute video, and most of that is because I really suck at making videos. So I'm learning. If I knew what I was doing, it probably would only take an hour or 2 to make a 10-minute video the way that I do it. There are some people that do heavy editing. I just don't currently have time to do that. Next is sell a minimum of $120 profit items a week. This is something I want to do for the rest of time because I want to be considered a reseller that people can trust. So I think if you earn $2,000 a week, it's $100,000 a year, a little bit more. That's something that at least it's a professional level income. You can actually make millions of dollars a year reselling, but I think this is sort of a happy amount that people will trust you. So if you want to become a guru yourself, sell a minimum of $120 items a week or whatever you're doing in order to earn that. Now, I will point out that this is not scalable. I just personally think it's fun. So next week, I'm actually going to launch the other store that I'm building, which is just going to be this, a minimum of $120 profit items a week. I'm going to start on Sunday. I'm going to do that at the same time as the building $1,000 store with zero money, because that store is going to take longer because there's not enough capital to put in there. And just the reality of this is money makes money, but money's not required to make money. Money makes more money generally in this occupation. If you don't like that, you should choose a different occupation, because in this occupation of reselling, the golden rule is the people with the gold rule. That is how this works. The people who have their relationship all the way to the manufacturer and own the market, they're going to have a much larger advantage over you just flipping stuff that you find. The next is to contact 10 suppliers a week. I'm going to shout out my boy, Prince Patel. He spends roughly 50 hours researching a new product to get it going. What is he actually doing? Here is a market of fans. So, we're researching fans right now because it is hot. Here is one that sold 645 times recently. You can click on this and see how many have sold each day. You can see here 3 to 20 of these fans are selling per day. So you would basically try to figure out how to get these. That's how it works. You figure out who distributes Milwaukee, present yourself properly. You can see here, this is optimized. You can't even see this seller's feedback. eBay is working with this person to help them boost this up for fan. If we type in fan in the search bar, this is probably going to pop up. It is. It's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 in the ranking. And I pulled up a couple of the other ones to get an idea. It looks like people are buying small handheld fans. This is what I'm talking about by researching new niches constantly. That's something that I want to do until the day I die. I enjoy that. I want to know what's hot, what's working. And this is just something that I like to do because it's fun. And that goes into number 5, which is invest your time before your money. And this is really important because you can see in the little store that I haven't bought a lighting kit. I haven't bought anything. All the pictures are taken on the ground. They're either taken outside or they're taken on the carpet. No fancy lighting system. I'm using the sun, which means I can't list at night. I need to take my pictures during the day. Work with what you have. Invest your time into learning a new niche. And I keep getting this comment saying, Chris, I don't agree with you. Courses are stupid. You can just learn for yourself for free. That's true. Okay, but I still don't think that buying stuff is bad. I think education, you can pay for it and it's fine. It depends on the person's outlook on what they're using the education for. Are you listening to try to figure out a nugget to make your business better? Because I have learned stuff from people who've been selling for 1 week. Like, I'm not so arrogant that I can only learn from people that are really high level. That doesn't even make sense. You can learn from anybody if you just apply what they're doing to your business. Okay, now we're going to get into the next one, which is your schedule. This is habit number 6. I'm going to go over my schedule with you guys to get an idea of what I do each day. My business is my day is almost exactly the same Sunday through Friday. I work 6 days a week. Sunday is fiance day, so I don't do any work on that day, and she hates cell phones, so I really don't even turn my phone on Saturday and after 6 o'clock. So in the morning, 4:30 to 5:45, either going for a walk. I'm actually going to try to go for a swim because there's a swim in my complex. Shower and also check the 2 rental cars that I have in the morning. 5:45, I have coffee, my fiance. Then I have a call from 6 to 7 a.m. This is where we discuss ideas. 7 to 7:45, I'm driving to work, listening to a podcast. I actually am having my worker drive now at least half the time so that I can either work or whatever during that 45-minute period. From 8 to 9, I'm working on books. I can definitely learn how to outsource this to other people, but I'm just letting you guys know that I am enjoying knowing exactly where I am in my business. I like that. So I consider that one of the most important things. It makes me more happy knowing where I'm at than how much I'm making, actually, to be honest, especially at this point when this is all going into retirement. So full disclosure, any one of these projects like Patreon or YouTube or even my courses, that's enough money to pay my bills alone, standalone. So that's because I put the work in and built those up. Any individual one of those can pay my bills. And I mentioned that not to brag, but just to show you that the point of this, in my opinion, is to get one income to pay for your bills, then keep reinvesting into it as it goes. So I'm using the capital that I'm earning from eBay and YouTube or whatever, into putting it into different investments as I grow. And as this channel matures, I'm sure there will be more like real estate investing stuff later as the dollar amount gets higher. We're going to start with junk, and hopefully eventually we're going to sell jets or something. So so from 9 to 1, I am doing the bulk of the reselling business: listing, shipping, photographing, describing, researching, hiring. I'm working with my lister James, who does not want to show his face because he doesn't want people to recognize him when he goes thrifting. That's very funny that he thinks that it's that big of a deal, but he's like, bro, your channel is really annoying. When we go thrifting, people notice and people will come up and say hi to you. I don't want that. I'm busy. I want to go in there, find my stuff and leave. I don't want to be recognized like you. So if we do a video, I want to black out my face so people don't know what I look like, because I don't have time. Because he is now one of my main buyers. He's buying most of the goods that he also lists for me, which is great because he knows the item because he's the one that picked it in the first place. And we've switched to an a la carte. So you guys know I used to pay him, I used to give him a retainer of $500 to use when he went out, but now he would rather do a la carte, meaning he brings an item to me and I buy it for roughly 1/4 what it sells for on eBay. And he understands the sold as well. Sometimes I'll pay up a little bit more because I appreciate his help. Like, for example, he picked up some Western equestrian stuff that's ridiculous. It's selling for between 100 and 700, and I'm paying him closer to half of what it is because the margin is so high. I want him to earn some money so he can continue to do it. Meaning, like, if I'm buying it for 100 and selling it for 200, there's still enough room in there to make it worth my time, especially since he's describing, photographing, and listing it. So 9 to 1, I'm paying the bills by doing the work that people don't really like. I'm also going to add in an FBA challenge, so I'm working on that with different people. And I want to get that going because I like the concept of Amazon a lot more than eBay. And Amazon is doing a lot of things to make it easier to sell on Amazon. They're taking over the transportation so that they can manage the costs there. Whereas if you saw on eBay, pretty much twice a year they increase the USPS rates. They also are going to increase their fees over and over and over again. So they're not really making the site better per se, but they are increasing the fees. And when the CEO was asked, how do you plan on making more money? He said, I'm going to make it from the sellers. You would think the answer would be, I'm going to make the platform better. But instead of that, he said he's going to get the money from the sellers, which is very clear. You look at the way that eBay is oriented, they're profit driven. Okay, they're which is perfectly fine. That's what big corporations are sometimes profit driven. Amazon is not profit driven. They're spending insane amounts of money on research and development. They're making movies, like they're doing everything. They came out with a cell phone that failed the first day. So they're doing everything they can to grow and grow and grow. All this research and development. If you look at eBay, I can tell you firsthand, they're not investing into many things. In fact, I was in a bunch of seller programs that are now gone. So this is very clear. They're speaking very loud and clear with their actions that they're based on profit, which is perfectly fine in my opinion, because I can still make a decent living eBay only. If all of this crashes down, I can just become a reseller on eBay and be fine, because I understand that they have millions of unique traffic every month. All I have to do is present stuff that traffic wants to buy. Okay, then from 1 to 3, I'm eating lunch, so I'm doing intermittent fasting just to save time. And also, I like eating larger meals, so I would rather eat 2 giant meals than a bunch of small meals that are completely unsatisfying to me. That's when I'm going to be recording videos, and then that's also when I would like to handle a few Discord questions, although I'm not doing that at all right now, to be honest. There's other people in there that are answering questions on photography, listing, describing, all those basic questions. Anyone is free to email me at chris@dailyrefinement.com. I respond almost always. Then at 3 to 3:45, I drive to the post office, come home. I'm not listening to podcasts. I'm usually just talking to James, or I may listen to the radio or whatever, something to decompress. From 4 to 6, I'm focusing on buying, sourcing, and relationships. As you guys know, I'm going for the 10 by 10 by 10 rule, meaning you find 10 items that sell 10 times a day for $10 profit. That's my lifetime reseller goal. Not my goal this year or this month. It's my lifetime goal. And I already do have products that sort of fit that. I have one product that sells every single day. It's in the kitchen category. I'm slowly moving up the idea of doing that. So if I spend 2 hours a day working on that, eventually I'm going to have a nice list of suppliers, a nice list of wholesalers to get good stuff from. And then from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, no phone time. Family, cooking, exercise. We're training for a marathon right now. I really kind of want to knock out the full marathon because I feel like I'm getting older at this point. I may not do it in the future. Maybe might as well just knock it out. The only issue is that it's like 10 hours of running a week, which is a lot. And I get it. People have been messaging me saying, if you get better at running, it doesn't take as much time. You can get more running done in the same amount of time. But I think I'm going to keep it to a 10 to 20 mile a week habit after I'm done with the marathon. But again, the key habit there is when my fiance comes home, instead of sitting down, because sitting down equals wanting to order food. But if we change into our workout gear at 6 and go for a run, when we come back, we're not in the mood to eat out, because it's like we just put the work in for this workout. Why eat out and ruin that? We might as well just sit on the couch and do nothing. Then around 9 o'clock, I've been charging my phone. I'll let you guys know I have a 3 or 4 inch charger for my phone. So it's actually a wireless charging pad attached directly into the cube. So I can't use my phone in bed because the cord is not long enough. So once I set my phone down, that's it. I can read or hang out with my fiance. That's it for the day. And because I'm like addicted to my phone, if there's no phone, then I just go to sleep. So I don't know how you guys operate it, but that's my schedule. So to review, I would like you guys to track your profit exactly, know where you are at, figure out how to pay your regular bills. For me, it's a $4,000 overhead. I do split it with my fiance. So really, I'm living in the Bay Area for $2,000 a month. It's much easier when you have a partner. Also, we share the responsibilities of taking care of this small place. Long-term mindset, focus on things you're going to do for a long time. I have to shout out Lexi in SoCal. She is a 15-year-old reseller that I interviewed, and her parents told her, whatever you are doing, we will support you as long as you want to do it for a while, because the key component to getting good at something is just doing it for a while. And I think that's incredible parenting. So I had to shout out that, because I did not have that upbringing. I had, if you're not good at it right away, then quit. It'll never amount to anything. And that's sort of an Asian dragon parent thing, but you know, it served me well. But I would rather have had the long-term mindset, because the second I could quit any of those things that my parents forced me to do, I did. You know, I was competitive in a bunch of things as growing up. The second I got a car, I was like, I'm never doing any of this stuff again. I'm just going to work on my own projects, because, you know, I didn't have this long-term mindset. I only had short-term mindset. Like I said, my parents raised me with, if financing is available, just buy it right now. Why would you wait? So I'm totally erasing that software and starting over. Then in the same thing, you're going to focus on skills, not trading your time for money. I don't offer any one-on-one consulting. I'm not doing any of that, because I'm trying not to trade time for money. I'm trying to build resources for people, like creating one Skillshare course every week on Thursday. The reason why I'm doing it free, I can subsidize it with Skillshare paying me a referral fee each time somebody signs up for a course. I asked resellers what they could afford, and the average came in at $9. Meaning most resellers or people in my niche are broke or have no money. Like, they wouldn't be able to invest $11 on average in something to improve their business. So I heard it loud and clear, and now I know if I was going to start a YouTube channel again, I would not pick resellers. I'd pick people with more income. I'd probably sell Peloton exercise bikes, where $1,500 to $5,000 for exercise bike in your house is fine. Like, I would probably choose that market again if I was going to do something that, you know, earns a much higher affiliate income than $0 to $10. So that's pretty rough. But the long-term mindset and focusing on skills is key. Number 6 is schedule. And this is just working on what you do every day equals what happens for you. Focusing on building my network, building up my health, sleeping really well. Lack of technology puts me to bed right away. It's very easy. And finally, habit number 7 is smash the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you guys ever want to reach out at chris@dailyrefinement.com, or you can join one of my groups, or you can support me by buying a copy of the Reseller Field Guide. I think it's fairly inexpensive at $32.50. I'm updating it basically every single day, so it's getting better and better and better. I'm also working on a printable PDF version that goes over all of this stuff in an easier to digest format, because this is really hard to read. You know, I'm going over sourcing, prepping, photography, describing, listing, trying to cram it all on the one page, when really this is more like a 50-page document. So I will work on that, and I want you guys to focus on progress, not perfection. I am not pretending to be anything. I'm just showing you guys what I am doing, and then you guys can get your own inspiration, your own thoughts from this. But again, hopefully you find a lot of value in this. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.